And joining me now is Member of Provincial Parliament for SD and SG, Jim McDonell. Welcome, Jim.
Well, thanks, and it's always good to join and try to get the information out to people of our riding.
All right, so we know that the province has been busy in the wake of the COVID-19 crisis. So let's talk first off about some of the measures that are being put in place, such as the state of emergency.
Well, as we see, the situation around the world is is escalating as we speak. So new measures are required, and we're looking at closing off some of the non-essential businesses. We'll be announcing tomorrow afternoon, I guess, some of these businesses that will be forced to close down. People might be wondering why tomorrow, but it gives, I guess, businesses a chance to start the decommissioning, start to be ready to be closed down. I think most of them have an idea which will be included and which won't be. And then as we move forward, we'll see what new measures are required.
Absolutely. Now, of course, during this time, there's a lot of people that are worried about their income and their jobs, and we know that all levels of government are currently working to help allay those fears and help support families. So let's talk a little bit about what the province has announced so far in terms of protecting jobs and helping Canadians in need right now.
Well, of course, we've announced some measures around rent and making sure that people that can't pay the rent don't get evicted. We're looking at, really trying to promote the social distancing, staying when you are out, that it's within a minimum of or 6 feet apart, 2 meters. Asking people, certainly that have been traveling, to self-isolate, which means not going out, not leaving their house until the 14 days are up, and that means anything. That means going grocery stores, out to gas stations. I think that was some of the examples the Premier gave, and the point is that there are people that have friends and relatives go out and pick up essential items. This really is all about slowing down the curve, making sure that we reduce the spread of this virus in a way that allows our health systems to actually work properly, have the capacity to look after the cases come up. Because right at this time especially, there's no vaccine, so there's no way of stopping it. So we have to make sure that we try to contain it, make it work in a way that allows us to handle the cases as they come through. And remembering that by doing this, we're protecting our family and friends and grandparents and young kids. There's a lot at stake here, so we want to make sure people follow these rules.
Absolutely, and I know there's some. I've seen some confusion on social media. This really isn't. We're not. The government isn't asking people that have traveled to stay home or to social distance. It's mandatory.
Yeah, we're seeing that. The steps that we're taking, the disease is still spreading. This is a time of year when things are still closed in, so we want to make sure that we delay this disease as long as possible, so that we have a chance to recover. Hopefully, there'll be a vaccine come forth, and but that's not going to happen for a few months. So we want to make sure that we're able to weather this storm and get through it. We've had serious emergencies over our history, and this is just another one. So let's work together as a team, and we can get through this.
Absolutely, and when you talk about healthcare, obviously that's a provincial responsibility and such an essential service at all times, but it's more so now. So why don't you talk to me about what the government is doing to support our healthcare system and make sure that we're taken care of as we obviously try to flatten the curve as well.
Well, we've set up test centers that are away from the hospitals as much as possible. We're trying to do everything we can to eliminate non-essential travel and non-essential procedures at the hospital. We're trying to make sure that as much as possible we disperse the possibility of people collecting in any one area for any reason. And then, we want to make sure we have resources that when people do come in contact and contact the disease, most people can weather the disease at home. And there's not really a lot of benefit from, it's something similar to the flu. But for many people, it can be very serious. So we want to make sure for those people we have the facilities that they need to get through this.
Absolutely. And just finally, MPP McDonnell, what is your message to the constituents right now about the COVID-19 crisis?
Well, I think the message is clear. We have to stay home. We have to avoid all non-essential travel. There are some jobs that we must follow through on because we can't shut down the country completely. People still need to eat. There's medical services. There's production of important material. There's construction of certain very important facilities. But for those people that are hearing the word that maybe their job is shutting down, or if they're in school and the schools are shut down, we're asking people to stay home, and let's do what we can to slow down the spread of this virus. The people we save will be people friends, relatives, and it's important that we do whatever we can to solve or make this problem as little as possible.
Absolutely. On that note, MPP, thank you so much for joining me and updating our viewers on what the province is doing during this crisis, and best of luck.
Okay. Thank you, and good luck to us all.